Welcome to the Sailor Moon Fan Club podcast. I'm your host, Victoria L. Johnson, and I'm here with actor, artist, writer, and director Kevin, aka Keats Did It. So happy to have him on the show. Hey, Keats.
How's it going? How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Very busy. AnimeNYC is coming up very fast, and I have tons of merch orders that I'm trying to fill out and, make everyone happy. And then there's content, and then there's business. So yeah, I'm flying all over the place. I had a dentist appointment, so I'm really just trying to keep it going, staying healthy, staying positive, staying productive.
I love that. Like, dentist appointments are important. AnimeNYC is important, just like
right.
Adulting, but also like being hardcore anime fans out here.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, speaking of being, AnimeNYC, super happy. I'm going there too. So like really excited
awesome.
for that. We can talk about that later. But
I need to see what your face looks like. So
yeah, I know. One day.
I don't know if that's weird to say, but that's the time we live in.
I didn't take it as weird. So I'm gonna just roll with it.
Cool.
Yeah, awesome. I feel like that's how I feel about so many people. In person. I want to see you in person. But yeah, speaking of being an anime fan, what's your first memory of watching Sailor Moon?
Sailor Moon. So as a kid, growing up in the home, I grew up in New York, Amityville, Long Island, and my family didn't have any cable. Like, we just had kind of like channels 1 through 22, and 10 of them didn't work. They would just be static. So when I did get to, get into my anime was when I went over to my grandmother's house. And I went over to my grandmother's house, my mom's house, maybe like once a week at that time. We just go over to hang out. My cousins would be there. And upstairs was kind of like just our playroom. There was an extra bedroom, and me and my cousins. And I'm like the only boy cousin, so I was chilling with like all my girl cousins. And at that age, it was cool because, it was whatever. And that's when we would have the Toonami. Like, I'd be over there, I'd get my Dragon Ball Z, I'd get my Powerpuff Girls, and I would get Sailor Moon, which I was like very hyped about for some reason. Like, I think just all of the different characters and the power-ups and just all the transformations. I was a huge transformation. That's really what got me into anime. I was huge on transformations, just in general. Like, I was like, oh, he's about to get it. Like, oh, she didn't even transform yet. Like, so that was really me. So my first memory, I must have been, so if it was like first or second grade, shoot, early, like 6, 7, 8, that era. Wow. I didn't even really think about it, but yeah, about 8 years old.
Wow, that's so funny. I love that because people I feel like it's funny, like you're like the only boy cousin, but like, yeah, Powerpuff Girls and DBZ was like right along with all of that. Like, we were watching Sailor Moon. That makes so much sense. But yeah, that sounds like fun. Yeah, Toonami was everything.
It really did. I think people give it enough credit. I don't think it's underrated. But it really did spark a lot, and they did a great job, like with dubs. And that's why maybe you've heard I don't want to say I've gotten flack, but it's been a topic of discussion, like, sub over dub. She watching dub, I can't make her my wife. And it's meant to not be taken so literally, but anything dub, I want people to know that anything dubbed that's Toonami is grandfathered in. Like, you have to know that that's just, I'm not speaking on Toonami at all. Tom is the GOAT, in the spaceship flying. You already know. Like, so anything that was Toonami driven, is really the Kickstarter for a lot of anime, getting you to, going on and finding more stuff, introducing you to it. So yeah, big ups on Toonami.
I love that you say that, because I definitely agree on, if any, like, I mean, I agree. I think people should be able to watch whatever, but like, Toonami is definitely an exception for anything, because that was the gateway for all of us, at least.
For real.
So you can never put disrespect on Toonami. Even when people talk about the original Sailor Moon dub, I'm like, it had its bad stuff, but like, it introduced so many of us to anime, so like, I can never hate it.
Yeah, I'm like a kid. I could barely read, so how am I gonna be watching sub and stuff? Like, come on, you gotta have something to start it out.
Right, exactly, yeah. I mean, now I just do it because I like to multitask and I have like no attention span, but I feel you.
Yeah, the Hunter x Hunter dub was pretty. I want people to know I watched the Hunter x Hunter dub the second time. I watched it in dub because I like to watch anime while I'm packing my merch and stuff, just because it makes the time go by so much easier. But honestly, I'm to the point now where I can multitask and watch sub just because I understand it a little. And if I'm rewatching the anime, I can definitely watch it in sub, because if I have to go and grab a sweatshirt or something, I kind of know what's going on. I'm not missing too much. But yeah, I'm rewatching Naruto Shippuden in sub right now while I'm packing merch.
Nice. That's so cool that you can kind of like understand a little bit now. I feel like I should be at that level. That's super dope. But yeah, I completely, yeah. And I feel like it's hit or, because some anime I'm like, I cannot watch the dub. Like, it's just too bad. And I just like, I cannot deal with this voice. But
cringy. So
yeah,
cringy.
but other times I'm like, oh, this isn't so bad. I like listen to both and be like, all right, which one do I want to do? Like, can I handle the dub for this one? And it's like, nope. All right. And sometimes I'm like, oh, this isn't so bad. I'll stick with it. But back to Sailor Moon a little bit. Did you have any favorite episodes or moments that you remember from the show?
Man, not really. It's been such a long time. But there's one scene, I can tell you the scene that sticks out in my head, and it might be a part of the intro, which is just so goated to me. When Tuxedo Mask, which is also my favorite character, so I'll drop that now. Tuxedo Mask is just, it's like nighttime, and they're like lightning, and he's just standing in the window, or like he's on a balcony, like looking down, and he's about to get into something. I'm not even sure what it was, but like I was a fan of like the Tuxedo Mask pull-ups, and like whenever he got into it, it's kind of like similar to how I felt about Yu Hakusho and like Kurama. Like, it was just like a very, I don't know, because there's an effeminate quality that I really appreciated about it, because he was just so clean. And as a kid, I was not the tough guy. I was very small. Like, I was known as the smallest kid, you know. It was just, I don't know. Like, yeah, I was just not the big guy. I wasn't playing sports. Like, I couldn't play football because I was too small. So, and all my cousins were girls. So I'm like, you know, it's kind of cool that this guy is surrounded by all these women, and he's like, you know, really showing out, super classy, you know, super smooth. He's clean, but he's really like kicking ass, like for real. So that's what I have to say about that on that point.
Yeah, no, that's so true. That's actually the nicest way I've heard someone describe Tuxedo Mask, because he like is definitely like, I love how he pulls up, like he's low key like Batman, just out of nowhere,
right?
Just fresh in his suit. Yeah, I could definitely see that kind of like Kurama, like where, you know, like he has a heart and he's not afraid to like show it.
Yeah, but don't get it twisted.
Right. Like he can still do something. Yeah, and it's like maybe he's not the strongest, but like, you know, he can hold his own.
Like, special shout out to Sailor Jupiter though.
Yes.
Sailor Jupiter's super hard. I don't really know why. That's the thing. I can't really put facts to why I feel the way about these characters, because it's been so long, but I can, you know, those are some of the most genuine thoughts, and I'm really glad that I'm being brought back there, because sometimes you got to do, there's like some reflection. But yeah, I can look at the characters and be like, wow, that was really my girl right there. I have no reason why, but I was just so drawn to, and you know, it was always a moment when they pulled up or when they got busy, got into action.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I feel like a lot of Black people like Sailor Jupiter, and I don't know what it is, but there's a connection there, and I have yet to figure it out.
No idea. I don't know. Maybe it's the brown hair. Who knows? In the green, but she's working. She's definitely doing her thing.
Yeah. Sometimes I think it's a brown hair, because I'm like, that's the closest like character we have to like having something in common with.
Yeah.
But I feel like she's also just like really cool and badass. She's the only one that's like kind of like a fighter, even when she's not and like transformed. I don't know, but she's dope. Yeah, and then I also like always have to mention, even no matter what, that the creator of Yu Hakusho and the creator of Sailor Moon are married. It's my favorite fun fact.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that. That is awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah, it makes me so happy.
My phone case is Yu Hakusho, so that's dope.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. They're just so cool. I'm like, that's the coolest couple ever. Like the Beyonce and Jay-Z of anime.
For real. Wow, that's a fact. I'm definitely going to steal that. Like, oh, did you know?
Yeah, do it. It's my favorite fun fact. Well, would you say Sailor Jupiter is your favorite Sailor Scout?
Yes, absolutely.
Nice. I feel like you kind of explained it, so I won't ask you why, because she's just dope. I get it. So a little bit about you, though.
Okay.
It's not all about Sailor Moon, even though I could talk about it for as long as forever. But when did you start getting into like becoming a content creator and doing skits online?
Doing skits online. Okay, so I have to go back because I really stumbled upon it. I was really just a fan of the culture at first, making music and wanting to be a music artist. So around 2017, it's when I graduated from college. I graduated with the degree in business and marketing because I started in engineering. I was very naive. I didn't really know what the majors were. I didn't like look into it. So I just knew that I was creative and I wanted to build things. And I liked playing as a kid. I liked building model planes and I liked Legos. And, I would, go outside, find a stick and some string and I'd make a bow and arrow. And so I was just very creative. So people told me that was engineering. I come to find out that engineering in reality is sitting at a mouse and key and designing and building stuff with math for other people. And that wasn't fun at all. I'm just like kind of like a worker bee, and that's what it becomes. So my second year, I changed my major to business and marketing. I was forced to like reset and say, I want to create on my own. That's my passion. But I thought that was engineering. It's not. So what it is, I need to create whatever I'm creating and know how to market it. So I did business administration and marketing, graduated with that. And I said, you know what? In entertainment, I'm going to make music. So I would do shows in Florida where I was going to school. I would go back to New York where I'm from, do shows. I'd release singles independently and I'd grow. So I was growing as Keats. And then it comes to the point where I moved to Atlanta where my management now, who happens to be my manager now, he's like, you know what? We need to figure out a way to get you out there because you don't just do music. A lot of people like artistry, they blow up for music when they're just music. And honestly, you missed the train because Childish Gambino really pulled like that entire demographic. And there's a lot of other people like that, but you're more in that lane, but you're not only that, you're so much more. So, my kids are on something. He said my kids are on something called TikTok. And I've heard about it. Like it was Musically and stuff. But he was like, I want you to get on that, see what it is, and try to target that. And this whole time, without me knowing it, I was trying to get a hold of, see where the younger people are at, because I opened up for Designer in Florida and a lot of the crowd was filled with 15 to 18-year-olds and they were digging my set. Like after I finished the show, I went into the crowd and like it was the first time I really had like tons of people. I was in a circle of them holding out their phones wanting my Instagram, Snapchat and everything, but I was just looking at them like, wow, they really fucked with it. So ever since then, from like 2017 to now, it was like 2019 where I first got on TikTok. So like 2 years, I'm like, yo, where the kids at? Am I gonna have to pull up at a high school? That's mad sus. Like, how do I, engage? Where are they at? Because they're not really on Instagram. Like you can't really, stuff doesn't just blow up. So I found out about TikTok, got on it, and I got immediately addicted, just like swiping. And this was just like how to use the sounds, like what skits are trending. Lip syncing was super huge back then. So I did a couple lip syncs and it got me like 600,000 views on TikTok, sorry. And then after that, I was like, okay, you need to get the followers. Because TikTok was weird at that point because you don't walk up to say somebody was like, yo, what's your TikTok? TikTok, like, you can be a popular person, have a TikTok, but don't know, no one, you don't follow anyone you know. TikTok is like a random people that really just like you and like your content. You don't really know. So you start from zero. You don't need followers to get a starting buzz. Like you really have to rely on the algorithm and people decide thumbs up, thumbs down. If they like your comment, they like it and it helps the algorithm. So it's really, they have to like what you're doing. So once you get a little bit of following from that one video that had 600,000 views, I got a couple of thousand followers, maybe 5,000, 10,000 followers. And then I was like, you know what? I have original content. I need to post it since I have these 10,000 people that are looking at me and the algorithm's favoring me. So that's when I had the idea for If the Planets Had a Meeting. I was going through a really rough time and I was in the shower and I come up with a lot of my goofy, weird, great ideas in the shower. And at that time, my apartment had flooded like from the top floor and it leaked down to the bottom floor in my condo. I had gotten a nail in my tire. I had gotten a speeding ticket and I was just dealing with all this. And it was during retrograde. And so I just said to myself, I remember exactly what I said. I said, why is Mercury such a bitch? And it made me laugh because I was like, really? Like, if all the other planets are here, you never hear, Neptune is in retrograde and that's making this a problem for the Earth. No, it's only Mercury that decides to want to, like, mess with us. So I said, if they had, like, a meeting or if they were in, talking to each other, if they actually had personalities, what would they be like? Mercury, we've already seen what she is. Jupiter would have the biggest ego. He'd probably talk a lot. He'd probably be very confident. The sun would obviously run things. Venus is close to Mercury, so they'd kind of be girls, but they'd be like bickering or whatever. Saturn's cool, just has rings. He would only just say like 6 rings, like he has nothing else to say. And then I started to develop it, and when I came out with part 1, it was just a new format. People weren't really doing, I call it single actor, multi-character videos. So I kind of began to like hold the crown for a while on that. And I started influencing other people. You started seeing it more. So there was a good trend where everyone was just having meetings with stuff. People did cell phone meetings. People did like Hulu, Netflix, which I did as well. But yeah, I just came out with meetings on meetings on meetings. I'm like, y'all are about to see me act. Like, I can be any character. Y'all are about to, this is how I'm going to show y'all that I have no limitations. I was PS5 with Xbox. I did If Booty had a meeting where I had track booty versus volleyball booty. I had Girl Scout cookies having meetings, social media apps having meetings, streaming platforms where I was Crunchyroll and I was speaking Japanese. And then I made Kiss Anime, Crunchyroll's cousin, where I had them pull up as the pirates, and you have 1, 2, 3 movies glitching. So I was just like giving everyone content and seeing how much I can do and how wide my talent range goes. So once I did that, it was kind of like people wanted more Planet videos. So I'm like, I'm gonna give them to y'all because I love these characters and it's so funny and they're doing very well. It's just a win-win situation for everything. So I'm still bring back these characters today because they have so much to say as I go through life. There's so much that these planets inside me want to say on it. Like even the new NASA news, it's like, oh wow, so y'all are talking this about Venus. Well, the Venus inside doesn't, if she feels away. Or, Pluto, it's like y'all talking smack about Pluto. He wants to come and address some things. So yeah, things got a lot busier. The merch started going, and then I started to expand. So it just kind of really developed. So that's a lot of information there. But yeah, I'll allow you to ask questions off of that, everything I said.
Yeah, no, I was just like, all right, you answered my next question. But no, that is super cool because I didn't realize until now that you were the one speaking Japanese with the Kiss anime. I always thought you were dubbing, or like I thought you were like lip singing.
No, that's all me. Yeah, that's my voice.
That's dope. Yeah, I love too how your manager was like, "Get on the TikTok. Kids are on TikTok."
Right,
and like,
right. He's an OG. Yeah, and my manager, he's strictly music. We were on this music. His there was an artist named A+ that he got signed to Universal. Buddah Bless this beat, who made Heat with Chris Brown, and he just got something on the Summer Walker track. He did stuff for Meg Thee Stallion, multi-platinum producer. That's his nephew, so we had that relationship there. So he's music. And then, it was kind of just, I was scratching my head when he was like, get on the TikTok. And I was like, all right, cool. And then I was like, hey, I'm famous now.
It worked.
Yeah, right. Good idea.
Yeah. That's funny. I love that so much. But yeah, actually, I missed the booty one and the Girl Scouts one, so now I got to go back in your feed and check those out.
Yeah, there's tons. I did the puppy Hamilton.
Oh my gosh. That's great.
Man,
that's so cool. I love that. And yeah, sorry you're going through a rough time, but I'm happy you're able to make something.
It's lollipops and gumdrops now.
Hey. I love it. Yeah, so you kind of talked about, I guess, being a content creator, rapping as plants. Oh yeah, so what? Well, I guess like you started doing the skits as planets, but what led you to like create raps as the planets? Was like putting together your like music and these skits together?
Yeah, because my main mission with this was to let everybody know who I really am. Because so when I did part 1, I left out Neptune and Venus just because at that point TikToks, you could only do a minute, so I couldn't introduce every character. So Venus and Neptune. And when I did part 1, I thought this would be a one-off, and then I would just do something else. But people were like, where's my planet? They were really relating to it. So in part 2, I brought in Neptune with the cornrows. I did the braids. So I needed people to know that I could also do that as well. And this is how I look. And yes, I have a little bit of slang. So I did that, but then I flipped it completely with Venus. I needed to show my range. So I pulled out the auntie for Venus, and then I pulled out the Nep, which is inspired off of Nipsey Hussle. with the tats and everything. So, and then part 3 just went on to go. And then I said, you know what, part 4, I want it to be a rap. So If the Planets Had a Meeting part 4 is actually a song as well. It's a whole song on Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, everywhere, where it's really going across, this is who I am, I'm a director. I make beats. I was just playing on my laptop. Something like it took me a minute. Like, stuff really let them know. And that did pretty well. People received it. People received it very well. And then I got right back into the skits. I took them to Popeyes. Pluto Likes Future. Collabing with NASA. The Mars rover. I collabed with NASA on one of those. But really just staying in the vibe and staying in the current pulse of what's going on. With what the planet's take would be on it. So recently, I did If the Planets Had Bars, where, they said, Saturn has some big news. I think they found out Saturn has like 8 rings or something like that. Or NASA took a great photo of Saturn. And, to celebrate, we're going to rap because Saturn's the producer. He's been known as the producer, with the belt on, kind of like Metro Boomin. And it was like, Pluto's, it's like, all right, we're going to do the rap with the beat. So I made the beat and I said, it would be really cool. I'm not opposed. So I was really opposed from just having the planets rap at first. I would be streaming and some people would say like, oh, you should make the planets rap. But I only do it if I can find a cool way to do it. I don't want it to be gimmicky or punchy. So I had to have cause to have the planets want to rap. So Saturn being a producer and having some big news, we're going to rap. But I said the way I want to do it is to have each one have a verse. So that would allow me to flex my range. It would allow me to have a long piece of content. And it would also challenge myself because it was pretty challenging to write, have bars on the planets in their own actual tone, the way they're delivering it, from the past videos, having it be conclusive and consistent with what they've already said and done and the characters that they are, while also maintaining actual bars and switching it in the middle. So that was a challenge, and it went over very well. Got some respect from Neil deGrasse Tyson, Don Cheadle tweeted, NASA tweeted. So that was really cool with the response. And then a lot of people were mad that Pluto got cut off, which is just straight comedy. And so, but I wanted to continue rapping as Pluto, so I actually said, you know what, let me actually make another beat and let Pluto just go. Because a lot of people, I just want to let people know I can go. Like, it's great that y'all know me for skits and stuff, but like, I can go. Like, with the best, probably. So it's just, I needed to let people know. It's honestly just putting yourself out there as much as possible. And that's what the internet, I think, is all about, is putting yourself out there. And no matter how different you are, just put it all out there. Find a way to do it. You don't have to do it all at once, but you do have to, it can benefit you for letting people know, because that's different. You're appealing to different fan bases. You're appealing to different people. There are tons of different people. There are people who like anime. There are people who don't. There are people who like space. There are people who like, books, people who like movies. So if you're a culmination of that, that's okay. And I feel like a lot of people, they tend to be in one box and say like, oh, if I'm this, I can't be this. I'm the geek nerd who likes math but rides a motorcycle. Wears glasses, has contacts. Can pick out the afro and wear a button down, but can get braids and look like ASAP Rocky. You don't have to be one thing. Just it's all right to be like a Rubik's cube of stuff. So that's kind of what my whole brand is about.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, I feel like, especially like you said, like the internet, like you can literally do anything now. Just put it up and put yourself out there and just kind of like test your luck, or test like, like, oh, let me try this. Like, I never did this before. Let me learn about it real quick and throw it out there. And it's kind of cool too. You kind of reminded me of I had a Kiera Please on the show earlier this year, and she really wants to get into voice acting. And shout out to her, she got her first voice acting gig. But
awesome.
Yeah. And she created a kind of like a mixtape and like songs to show her different voices. And I was just like, it's really cool. Like, you were like, oh, I want to show like music and show like people how, these other sides of me, and I'm going to do that through content creating. And it's like, I'm an artist, I'm all these things, and I'm going to show you all these things through, these videos. I'm like, it's just cool how people are doing stuff. That's all I'm saying.
For sure.
Well, now I gotta ask you too, which Sailor Scout do you think would make the best rapper?
Ooh. Sailor Moon.
Ooh, yeah.
how, because I think this is so, being a rapper, and it's all about taking your experiences and putting them out in a way. But the most important part is an experience. Like, I can go on a 2-day trip to somewhere and see something there that's just because I'm in a different environment and be inspired to make an entire song out of it. All you need is like a seed to branch off of a song. The rest of it is just sitting there and actually letting your mind work off of the idea. And I feel like Sailor Moon, leading her show and, heading the battles and getting into all of the situations she has, she would have the most experience and just fire delivery. I mean, she's killing the intro. So that's what I think. I think Sailor Moon would really hold it down. Coming is, the whole squad would be nasty though. Like, I'm sitting here, I got the characters pulled up and everything.
Nice.
Like, Sailor Jupiter would give it to him. Sailor Saturn would be hard. That Bob is going crazy.
Yeah, she's like menacing.
Yeah. Nah, I think Saturn and Moon would have some beef.
I love it. I need that mixtape now. But yeah, it's funny though, now you mention it, because I never would have guessed Sailor Moon, but she actually does like be doing some little rhymes when she arrives on the scene, like, in the name of the moon, I'll punish you, like,
right?
That's a little 4-bar. I don't know.
Nah, I need 16. Sailor Moon, and like somebody else versus Team Rocket. I need that. Yeah. Team Rocket would definitely go hard.
Maybe Tuxedo Mask, because he drops a little something too. I don't know if he rhymes, but he does be dropping little haikus or something.
Yeah, but I feel like he would just be like a Michael Jackson.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I don't know, but I would like to see it. That'd be funny. So yeah, that's a good pick. I like that. I've asked someone else that, and I think they chose Sailor Mars just because she's very like, she has like a fire, powers, and she's very like in your face. But I feel like Sailor Moon's a great answer too. It's just need the Senshi rap album now. We kind of talked about Yu Hakusho. You spoke about watching Hunter X Hunter, Sailor Moon. But do you have any other favorite anime?
Yes, tons. Haikyuu, definitely. Nice. And I kind of just realized how to pronounce it. I'm super big on that, and just with Haikyuu, the way that the writers have to be so creative in order to do something like that, in order to accomplish a feat where, like I said, I'm the type of person who likes watching anime. I like watching transformations, and it doesn't have to be like an energy transformation. It has to be like a character growth to where, they unlock something, which I also like Yami from Black Clover. And I did this tweet that was like one of the most profound tweets ever. I was really feeling it. It said, how are you an anime fan and you're not surpassing your limits? And like, that really just stuck with me. And that's a Yami line from Black Clover. But for real, anime is always about, working hard and, going through it and like bleeding and sweating and failing and getting washed, in order to come back and finish the job and keep going along on your journey, whatever that is. So how are you watching that every day and you're still, you're not inspired to, go on Indeed, get that new job and then work yourself up to be where you want to be? And, because what I did, I had a plan to do entertainment, but I still used my degree. I was working as an IT client manager for 3 years at an IT company. I actually went to go visit my previous employer today. I was going to the mall and it was right there. But I was working in high corporate where I would have to put together server infrastructure quotes for, I would manage 35 law firms in Atlanta. But everyone knew me, sometimes I would come in and I would have a show the night before because I did a show. I was moonlighting as Keats, but, I would come to my 9 to 5 and get my work done so that it would fund the career. So like, that's the type of drive that you have to have. I feel like it's easy to have if anime is your, your passion or something that you watch and consume every day as a product of media. But yeah, so Black Clover, Haikyuu, Attack on Titan. I really need that part. I think it's second part to season 4 to come out because it kind of left me a little bit wanting. Food Wars, special shout out to One Piece. Definitely, it took me a while to get to Wano, but I'm there. Definitely Luffy is a super inspiration, and that's like one of my favorite MCs. Jujutsu Kaisen, new on the block but really kicking ass. Can't wait for the new season. Shout out to Darwin's Game. I hope it gets a second season because the first season was way too hard. that time I was reincarnated as a slime. I
heard that's
really
good.
like that. There's just a lot of anime out right now that I needed to continue. Like I'm kind of in a, like I said, I'm rewatching Naruto right now. So like I'm waiting for Demon Slayer. I'm waiting for the second season for what did I just Jujutsu Kaisen. You know, there's a lot of OP characters that I need to see more from that are out right now. So I'm really excited about the direction that anime is going.
Me too. I've really been more into it lately. Same thing with Attack on Titan. Like I caught up right before the last season finished, or like the first half of the last season finished. Right. And I was just like, where's the rest? And I was like almost about to go read the manga because I was like, I don't know if I can wait. Also, One Piece. I am not at Wano, but I finished Cake Island, and then I was like,
you finished it?
Yeah, I finished Cake Island, and then I was like,
oh, you're right there.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna take a break. I'm right here, and I was like, now I'm like, I just need to go back and finish it.
Yeah, no rush, because I tell you right now, once you get in Wano, it gets busy immediately.
That's what I hear.
Everything you were missing in Whole Cake Island, they make that up tenfold. Like from the episode, first 2 episodes, it's like, yes, let's get it. Yeah. We're back to One Piece.
Oh man. Okay. Yes, all right. Yeah, because I really felt like Cake Island was dragging, and after that, I was like, I need a break from One Piece. Like, I'll come back.
Super dragging. Low-key, it took me like 8 months to get through Whole Cake Island, bro.
Like that.
Someone's like, my Crunchyroll forgot where I was, and I'd have to like go through the thumbnails and be like, nah, I saw that. Yep. Can I ask you a question? What did you think about the Katakuri fight with Luffy in the Mirror World?
Is that the one? Wait, I forget names. So is that the dude? Is that the one that was really long and like with the he had red hair?
Yeah, okay. Really long. Yes, he was very tall.
Yeah, also very tall. Yeah, super tall. That's probably should have been the first thing I said, right? I actually, I thought it was super long and I was getting really annoyed with it, but I love the ending and like the message and like him just like being pushed to be better. And like both of them being pushed to be better, and just like I don't know, and him like coming to terms with himself and like taking off his mask and getting comfortable. Like right. One Piece is great at a backstory. Like every time they have a little flashback, I'm like, okay, here we go. They about to get me in the feels.
Yeah, definitely.
So I felt sort of like the ending was almost worth it, but the fight was just so long. I was so tired by the end of it.
That is true.
But the end was really good. It kind of reminded me of the Chimera Ant arc in Hunter x Hunter, where like that was also really long, but I really love the ending with I think it's Kamagu and the king, and like between like that whole story between them, like him like getting a little like learning a little bit more, getting more like humanity, I guess, and her like bringing him to that, and then like I don't know, developing some kind of friendship or whatever.
That was cute. I'm not gonna lie, that was cute.
Yeah, it was cute. Yeah, so. Yeah, so what did you think?
I thought it was plot armor. I think there's no way Luffy should have left out of that world alive the way that it happened.
True.
It was kind of cringy to see Luffy just get beat like that. But it's Luffy. It's the MC. And he did I thought he was gonna, actually use the haki and use the power to I don't want to like spoil a lot, but like use the power to be better. How Katakuri, his eyes got red and he was able to do some things, and Luffy was kind of picking up on it. But I thought it was gonna like be like, oh, I'm better than you at it now. But that didn't happen. It just seemed a little like, it was a little rigged.
Yeah, no.
In Luffy's favor. But hey, I'm with it. Past it, we with it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like everyone was I was like, okay, there's definitely no way Luffy's going against Big Mom. And I'm like, there's no way, like, how is he going to beat this guy? Like, I agree. Like, I did not expect him to win. I was like, he's just going to have to, like, escape and actually, like, back down from a fight. Or something.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
I was like, how is he going to escape this one? Like, because you don't look like he's putting this one down.
Because, it's coming back to me now. Because it was also, like, he had his sisters there, too. And they were, like, infiltrating a little bit for a bit. And it was rough.
Oh, yeah, the ops were stacked.
Yeah.
Super sure.
Oh, my God, yeah. Oh, gosh. Man. Yeah, that's a lot. You know what happens with me with anime? Is, like, I'll be reading the subtitles, and, like, if a name is really long, I'll just kind of skip over it.
Yeah.
I never remember names.
His name was super weird anyway. Like I can't even. I want to say Kakatori, but I feel like Kakatori is from a whole other anime.
Maybe. I don't know. But yeah. So I was like, okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the long guy.
Yeah, very tall, red hair. Whatchamacallit mouth.
Yeah, has crazy mouth.
Yeah, jaws, claws. I don't know.
So you're going to AnimeNYC.
I am, yeah. So I'll actually be doing a panel, Black Trailblazers in the anime industry. It's gonna be super cool. It's Saturday at 11, I think.
Saturday at 11.
Yeah.
I'm missing that. I'm sorry. I wasn't even gonna. I'll tell you my AnimeNYC story. So I wasn't even gonna go, and because I was just so busy, I have a lot of merch. That's why I'm like going overtime to try to get stuff so I can, rest easy. Because I'm the type of person, if I'm having fun, I can't just separate. It's like, I know I need to do stuff. Like, I shouldn't be here. I left the whole concert because I was like, I shouldn't even be here. I paid for the concert. The concert there was no re-entry, and I left to go pack merch because I just felt so like responsible. So anyway, I wasn't going to go. And then a lot of people were hitting me up as it got close, like, yo, are you going to be there? Like, are you going to be there? Are you going to do this or whatever? But I had already had plans to be in New York because my best friend from, like, pre-K, literally my first friend, like, I meet him in kindergarten. It's like, hey, do you want to push cars? And we were just friends ever since. He's getting married. So,
Aww.
Yeah, so big wedding. I'm in the wedding. So I get in on Friday, and I'm there through Thanksgiving, and I'm from New York. So I'll be in between. Now I got a room at the hotel, but once I check out of there, I can just go home. But yeah, I'll be there there's a rehearsal dinner. Well, Friday when I land, I have to pick up my tux. There's a rehearsal dinner from 5 to like 7. Then I'm going to go to AnimeNYC. And then in the morning, I'm going to drive out to Long Island to go to the wedding. The wedding is at like 1, but the reception isn't till like 6. So my whole day is basically wedding. But I'm sliding out Saturday night, going back into the city for the party. There's like the LAN party that's happening.
Yeah. Well, I'll be there too, so we'll catch up there.
Yeah. But Sunday, I have the full day there. I'm planning to experience whatever that has to offer. But I'll be there like at the nights. I'm doing my late celeb pull up. Keats is here now.
Yeah, so I gotta pull up sometimes. It's like, y'all ain't seen me all day, but I'm here now.
A little bit. Have y'all seen Keats?
Right. Where is he? I don't know. I thought he was gonna be here.
I heard something about a wedding.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell people, if y'all want to know where Keats is gonna be next weekend, listen to the podcast.
Oh man.
Oh, that's super cool though. Congrats to your best friend, and awesome of you to come to NYC. I'm the same way too about like when I have things to do, it's hard for me to really relax. Like I'm like, I need to like get all my work done, clean my apartment, and like have everything done before I can like, all right, let me binge the show.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see everyone. Like, cause I went. Did you go to DreamCon?
No, I wish I did.
You gotta go to the next one. You have to go.
I know. I'm already
it was
like
my first con. But you gotta go. I'm a little biased, and I shot the whole the best anime rap ever. I shot that at DreamCon.
Nice.
So yeah, that was great. But I'm super cool with RDC, and there's some great guys, and I met Vader, Griffey, Pierre, all them. So I'm real excited to link back up with them and see what they're doing. Yeah, and just network. It's different because it's when you're doing this stuff and you're just working. There's a certain type of people that can really relate to you and understand, like when, sometimes you just need to get away because your jaw hurts from, interacting with fans and taking pictures, which I love to do. I've never refused a picture ever, ever, ever. But like literally, like physically, it's just like, I can't smile. I'm looking goofy. But yeah, it's a certain type of person. It's nice to, just communicate and be around people that feel the same way because they've been through it themselves. So that's cool.
Yeah, I really, really want to go. I've been wanting to go for a while, and especially after last year and seeing all the footage, I was like, oh my God, I really missed out. So next year, I'm like, I'm definitely going. I don't care what happens. And so I'm really excited for that. But this will be my first convention I go to since I started the podcast. So I'm really excited about that because I feel like I've met so many people through the show, or like, I've talked to them as guests so that I haven't met them in person like you. So I'm like really excited about that.
Nice. Did you say you had Saweetie on the podcast?
I did, yeah.
That is awesome. I'm gonna clap for that one.
Thank you.
That is great.
Yeah.
I have like my own story with Saweetie. Like I made this music video called Saweetie, and I dropped it on her birthday like 2 years ago.
Nice.
And she retweeted it and like she interacted with it or whatever. And it was okay. And that was before I had a TikTok. So I was literally going viral without the TikTok. I was working my way to going viral. It's kind of weird how going viral and identifying viral content in itself is a skill. You kind of know what works, why, this video is too long, or the intro wasn't, I should have started it here, even though I made the full video, but here's where it would catch. So I was like, I'm going to make a music video for Saweetie, drop it on her birthday. And it's just going to be like me, like geek rapping, really like talking about Saweetie. So it's pretty funny. But I actually saw her and I was right up front at a concert in Atlanta at A3C. And she saw me and she looked at me and she noticed me. And then she was driving off in the golf cart. And then I waved and she was like, hi. And then she just kept going on her way.
Aw, that's so she's so cool. She is a really, really
is.
cool person. Like the fact that she came on my podcast, I was just like, damn, like you're dope. Because it was like when I was like maybe 3 months into this podcast, but she's such a big fan of Sailor Moon. I feel like that's why. Like she literally has one of the characters as a chain and stuff. And like
fire.
Yeah, like she's a huge fan. So it was hype. But yeah, I've had some really great people. I mean, yourself included on the show, and I'm just so happy to talk to people about Sailor Moon and like all the amazing things they're doing.
Thank you. I'm honored.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. But on that too, since you are an amazing person, what advice do you have for someone who I guess wants to become either like get into music or content creating, or I guess get to where you are? You're doing so many things. I don't even know.
Is this a Sailor Moon says, or is just general information?
General information.
Okay, so I would say if you aspire to be a creator, first off, I always say do what you want to do, and I was trying to do that. Sometimes it's not easy to figure out. A really good book that I almost live by is The Alchemist, and it really breaks down like what your passions are and how you can identify your passions. But it's sometimes it's hard to find. It's really hard to know who you are because there's so much stuff that's programmed into you. From school, raise your hand to go to the bathroom. There's a lot of unprogrammed that you need to do to a certain level. Don't go crazy, but certain things that like this is me and I'm following what I want to do. And I think Jim Carrey said, do what you want to do because it's possible to fail at what you don't do. You can think you want to be an artist full time, but you get a corporate job and so they have to let you go, and so you can fail at things that you don't want to do. So finding out what you want to do, because I would say turn your hobbies and what your true passion is into something that's profitable for you and can sustain you, because it's going to be a job, but it's something that still you're fulfilling yourself while you do it. When you need to work those extra hours, because anything you do is going to be hard work. That's the bottom of it. To be successful, it's going to be hard work. You're going to fail to learn. That's a prerequisite requirement. You're never not going to fail. So don't be afraid to fail. Walk straight into it. But if you're doing something you're passionate about, those failures are a lot easy than if you're doing something you're not even really that interested in. You fail and you just want to, it's like, why am I even doing this? If it's something you love, you can never ask yourself, why are you even doing this? Because I love it in the first place. I'd be doing it even if, I wasn't trying to take it to where I am. So really just identify your passion. And I'm right-brained, I see things in videos in my mind. I hear things that can become music, so I just kind of figure out how you're wired, how your brain works and everything, and move toward that. Because if I was a watchmaker, if my family was watchmakers and that's what we did, I would be the best watchmaker there ever was. But I'm not a watchmaker, no, nor is anyone in my family. We make music and are entertainers and are funny. So I decided to go in that lane and just find new things about yourself. I didn't really know I was an actor. I didn't know I had this, schizophrenic type of ability to play 11 characters at once, let alone planets or booty or cookies. But, when you jump into things, you tap into different areas that you never did, but could be naturally talented. So try different things. You have to, because you never know when you're going to strike gold in yourself.
Yeah, that's so true. I love that too, what you said about, like, you can go the safe route and like do something that you think will, you know, like, okay, let me not pursue my passions, let me get like this job or whatever and do this thing that I know will make me money, or like, but it's like you could also fail at that, so you might as well like, you know, go
Yeah.
after what you want and what makes you happy, because there's no guarantee that the like the safe, quote unquote safe option will be safe.
Right. And the most important currency is time. You don't know how many times I would say, because I was fans of like RDC and Long Beach Griffey and the Vine community. And, you know, I'm sitting there from the sidelines looking like, yo, these guys are funny. It'll be funny, a funny video if they did this, if they did. You know how many times I said, if somebody would make this, and God had to be looking at me like, bro, then do it. Like, then be the guy, you know, manifest it yourself. Don't be sitting back, you know, wishing you could message them to make a video, you know. So now I'm these people's peers, and it's like, imagine if I pulled out my phone when I was in high school and started doing this, or when it's Vine, or when YouTube, you know, actually let people in. Like YouTube kind of closed the doors unless you're doing pranks and some stuff, but like just flat out, you know, coming up as YouTube is very difficult now. There was kind of like a window. There's certain windows with businesses and companies when they have like booms, like we're in the TikTok boom right now. But yeah, time is such an invaluable currency that you just need to get, like, the best time is now because you can't get before. So yeah, do it now.
So absolutely true. And then here's the Sailor Moon says. So just like Sailor Moon had the Sailor Moon says phrase at the end of every episode, what would your phrase be? So Sailor Keats says.
Sailor Keats says, don't be afraid to put yourself out there because you never know who needs to see that part of you.
I love that. It's so true. It's so true. Like you said, like you were like telling, you know, in your mind, RDC and everyone, like, they should do this. And it was like, oh, I should do this. And now people are looking at you like, oh, shoot, like that's dope.
Right.
Also,
yeah.
I don't know if you heard, we're not really messing with Griffey no more, but, you know, that's another side conversation.
Yeah. But I had to give him my flowers though. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, I mean,
creator to creator, I had to.
I feel you.
But it's limited in definitely certain areas. But it's you know, looking at before anyone was aware. It was just, you know, you're looking at that and it's like, wow, that, you know, they got you. They gave you just the game on what it is. You know, they're solidified at some point, but you know, it's the person sometimes has to be separate from the content.
Yeah, there's part of it too. But yeah, and I think like, you know, at some point, like, he was a person, but yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. Won't get into it. But what's next for you, and where can people find you?
So people can find me on Instagram. You know, if you Google Keats Did It or just Keats, I'm gonna pop up. I encourage everyone to listen to my music. It's different, you know, just the level, anything that I create, I try to do it at a consistent level that has been gone viral. So it's not that I don't get into any lane and it's like, oh, well, I only like him in this area, most of the time, but everyone's different. But yeah, you can find me on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal. My music is under Keats. Anything social media or @ handle is Keats Did It. But yeah, what's next? I'm working on an album so I can tour, and my shows are going to be so unorthodox and different. I'm trying to put together a show that no one's ever done because no one's really had all my skill sets in one. So it's really weird to be an innovator in that space because it's never been done. I'm actually releasing my first original design. I designed a tracksuit. It's different than merch. It's actually the design department of Keats, my production company, putting out these tracksuits. It's called the Ultra, and it's inspired by the All Might colorway. Excuse me. But I will be releasing that on November 24th at 7 p.m. And if you follow me or turn my notifications on, you'll see all of the, you know, we did the professional photo shoot. You'll see me in the most outlandish designer character. I created this character called Keats the Designer. And it's like, imagine just a German, French, eccentric fashion designer that has a silk press. So yeah, that's gonna be really funny. I think that's gonna you know, hit a lot of people. But yeah, more music, more videos, more content, more fashion, more merch, everything.
That all sounds super dope, and I cannot wait for all of that, and I can't wait to see you at AnimeNYC.
And also one thing I forgot, I have to say, I just became a published author. Yeah.
Clap.
I wrote a children's book from about ages 2 to 10, 2 to 11. It's called Nobody's Knows. It's available on Amazon. I may do one. I'm having like a professional editor that's looking at it that I didn't even know was in my network. So small changes may be getting made, but if anybody wants the first original copy for some reason, you can find it. It's Nobody's Knows. It's about a young boy, a young black boy, that lives in a world where he's the only one with a nose, and his name is Nobody. So he goes around in his town, and he's at school, and he tries to explain what smell is because he's the only one that can smell, and he can't really, explain it. So he's kind of down about it, and no one really gets him. Kind of like a Naruto Uzumaki story, and he meets a man who's hungry. He's sitting on a bench, and he doesn't have any money for food because he's just a little boy, but he smells something. So he's like, follow me. So they go on this journey. They're going through the desert. They go up the Mount Everest, and they finally arrive at like this house on a block. He knocks on the door, and then a woman answers, and then he says, I just want to know, like, I smell you have food. So they go in the backyard and they feed him, and they have like a huge barbecue. So now everyone's like, you kind of like saved the day because you helped somebody just because you have this gift that no one else has. So I plan on creating like a Junie B. Jones type series of Nobody and like, the adventures of Nobody where, maybe nobody goes to space. Maybe nobody becomes a professional chef. Maybe nobody, but there's so many things. I felt like the sense of smell is very underrated. And especially after having COVID and losing that, it was, we take it for granted, honestly. But I just wanted to intrigue kids and get them thinking out of the box, one off, because there's a lot of double entendres with, nobody would talk, but nobody would speak. Nobody would fart and nobody would leave. So getting them, nobody can be a person as well as the meaning of no one. So getting them thinking and just, being inspiring and letting little Black children know that, you can be great. And what is your gift? It may not be smell. Everyone has a nose, but what can you do? So yeah, I really feel that character. I'm super glad that I made it, and tons of content. So I'm planning to promote it, actually let the world know about it for about Christmas time.
Nice, that's so cool. I love that concept. It's so cute, and I love Junie B. Jones too. So I'm just like, yes,
go Amelia Bedelia, yeah! All that, yes.
Oh my god, classics, just classics, man.
What time is it? I want to go to the bookstore.
Right? Oh my god, Barnes is my happy place. But yeah, that's super dope. And yeah, definitely check that out. I'll drop a link in the show notes, and of course, like it might be changed, but first editions go for some money sometimes, y'all. So get the first edition, and then maybe get the second edition later.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And then once again, I am Victoria L. Johnson, host of the Sailor Moon Fan Club podcast. You can find me at Miss Old School. That's Old School with a K on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find the podcast at Moonies Club on Twitter and Moonies_Club on Instagram. And we also have merch at mooniesclub.com. You probably want to plug where your merch is?
KeatsDidIt.com. Link is in my bio on my Instagram.
Perfect. I was like, did he plug it? Give me a chance. And that's really it. And we'll both be at AnimeNYC, so we'll see you next weekend, y'all.
Yes, cannot wait to meet you in person.
Yes, we'll do it. All right. Bye. Thanks for coming.
No problem. Later. You have a good one.